You're listening to 1680 WOKB AM, Winter Garden, Florida.
This is your host, Jay Real from Real Family Talk. We are here live every Wednesday night, 9 p.m. to 10 p.m. This is Hump Day. Listen to the show and enjoy your Wednesday night. Hello.
Welcome to another edition of Real Family Talk. This is your host, Jay Real. Hope everybody's having a great Tuesday night.
Hello. Welcome to Real Family Talk, man. This is Jay Real. Hope you're having a wonderful evening, as the intro says there. I'm having a good time. It's Wednesday. Got a bit of a headache today, but we're going to power through this headache and keep it moving, man. We're going to have a good time tonight, man. We got guests coming through the building tonight. Miss Jasmine Burney is stopping by tonight. She'll be through. The crew is here. Miss McCray, a.k.a. Better. She's back.
I'm back.
How you doing, Miss McCray?
Each day gets better.
That's what I'm talking about, Miss McCray. Each day is better.
Can you hear me? I can't hear myself.
Yes, I can hear you, Miss McCray.
There we go.
We'll get you turned up, Miss McCray.
Hey.
Mr. King's in the building. How you doing, Mr. King?
I'm doing good, man. My brother. I am in the building.
He is in the building. That's what I'm talking about, man. Mr. Jeremy Smith, a.k.a. Younger Brothers, in the building as well. How you doing, sir?
I'm good. How you doing?
Doing all right, man. I want to kick this off, man. Last weekend, I don't know if you're aware, but Selma got released in the city here. Selma got released last weekend, and I don't know. Did you guys go see Selma? Have you seen that yet?
I saw it yesterday with my parents. I wanted to go see it with my mom and dad.
Alrighty.
Uh-huh.
Mr. King, Jeremy, you guys seen Selma yet?
I had a friend that went and seen it, and they definitely told me it was a movie that I need to go and see. I haven't seen it yet, but I've only heard good things about it. It is on my list to go and check out. So, you know, when that time comes, I get a little time off from work when I'm not actually hitting the streets for Real Family Talk. You know, I make some time to go out there and check out Selma.
You definitely gotta go. Miss McCray, I saw Miss McCray posted about it yesterday. Mm-hmm. The biggest takeaway I got from the film. You didn't ask me if I saw. Oh, I'm sorry, Mr. Jeremy. Did you go?
You didn't ask me if I saw.
Did you go see Selma, sir?
No, I did not.
Okay.
Just wanted to make that clear.
Okay.
I'm just saying I just haven't seen it. I plan on seeing it at some point. I don't know whether it be in the theaters or Redbox or what, but I do plan on seeing it.
Okay. All right. Try and go see it in the theaters, man. Try and so that
I would try to, but see,
we continue to try and show support that we support these types of films.
I do, and I appreciate it, but I'm very familiar with the story. You know, I read books. I was paying attention to Black History that day. You know, I took Black History in high school, so I'm a little aware of the situation.
You're aware of the situation?
You know, it's funny. I was talking about it, so I was like, oh, I can't believe all that happened. I was like, you just hearing about this story?
Right. Who asked you that?
No, nobody asked them. They were just saying they just couldn't believe, because, you know, a lot of people say, oh, they marched on Selma, but they don't realize the violence they went through, you know, crossing over the bridge and all
Bloody
that.
Sunday. They didn't hear about that.
Yeah, well, when people don't know, they don't really understand. They say, oh, Bloody Sunday, they got, you know, beat and stuff, but they don't really understand. When you say beat, people, you know, people just say, "Oh, okay, they got beat." You know, everybody got beat.
Right.
Not everybody, but you know, they took one. Let's just say that
they took one for the team big time.
And I didn't see the movie, so I don't know how
it reminds
graphic
me.
they depict.
It reminds me of the Passion of the Christ.
Oh, okay. So they got
in that sense that, you know, we all know what happened to Jesus. Mm-hmm. You know, when you know, leading up to his death and resurrection. But to see the imagery in the way that they did it in the Passion of Christ just brings a whole new perspective on it, so that you can, you know, just be able to put it in perspective. Because I think a lot of people, words are great, but sometimes to have that picture in front of you is just like, wow, that's powerful. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
And Selma, to me, was the same kind of takeaway for people who might have read it, for people who certainly have never heard of it, you know, especially Bloody Sunday, to see the image and the imagery of just how, you know, literally people were calmly walking down the street, and another group of people said, I don't appreciate you walking down the street, so I'm just going to take billy clubs, horses.
It's,
and I'm gonna just maul you down.
But that's why
like
it's
the dog
important.
I think you are.
It is important to see that. But I would encourage everybody who did see the movie, go back, watch. I can't believe, I don't know whether it's Eyes on the Prize. Y'all should know that series. That series. If you're talking about posthumously awarding Oscars for documentaries and stuff, that Eyes on the Prize was the truth.
Yes.
Because they went through a lot of Black history that you get some details about, and they got video footage and things of that nature. And you see, if you go see pictures, research it, it'll give you the imagery, the raw imagery. You'll see, or you hear. I always forget his name. The congressman that was there. He's still a congressman out of New York.
Lewis.
Yeah, he talks about how he got cracked over the head. And
he was on the front lines.
Right, exactly. So I would encourage you to go out and just read some more and then see the actual footage.
Yeah, there's some excellent documentaries that talk about Bloody Sunday in conjunction with the Four Little Girls. I think Spike Lee's film combines both and show real imagery, which the film also does too. It brings in, so it's like, oh no, this is Hollywood, but then we're gonna show you what it really looked like.
This actually happened.
Right. And the takeaway that I got from it is just a reminder for everybody that says, voting is not important. Voting doesn't matter. I don't need to vote. They're not saying anything that I want to hear anyway. It's just a reminder, like, you need to vote, man. Look at this, here's a reminder of what it took for you to sit here and then have the right to say you don't want to vote. And quite frankly, you do have that right to say it. But here's a reminder of why it's so important that you get over yourself, if you will, and go out and try and pay attention to what's happening and make an informed decision on who to vote for. Because people literally died, got beaten, were treated like dogs in the street. Just so you can be here today and make a statement like that. So it's important that we go out and we vote and we participate in the process, because literally there was a time where we wanted the process and they didn't want us in. Now we have the process, or we can participate. So it's our duty. It's our right. We owe it to our ancestors, to your uncle, to your grandma, because these are the people who were watching this in real time. Your uncles, those older uncles that you have right now, that grandma that you have right now, your mama, your daddy, they was watching this in their 20s, some of them perhaps 30s, some of them in their teen years, just as, or whatever. So they saw it in real time. So, I mean, we're not that far removed from these things that people sacrificed and suffered and brutalized, treated like, again, dogs, animals in the street, if you will. Actually, no, they treat dogs better than they treated us during that time.
They still do.
I was just going to say, they still do. They still do.
So, I mean, we were brutalized like the cows we eat, if you will. Just slaughtered, So, it's just a good reminder for people who seem to forget, what we went through to just be able to be where we are today. And again, we're not that far removed. We're talking 1965. Yeah. So we're not that far removed from the sacrifices people made for us to be here today. Man, we gotta do better. We just got to do better. And that's one of the things that I appreciate about this film, because for a generation that tends to not know very much about what happened in the past, because as they see it, it was just the past. And we're so far beyond where we were in the 60s, if you will, and that's at least their perception of it. I think this film provides just another reminder, hey, there were some people who built some stuff for you, who sacrificed for you, and you need to respect that and respect them and do better.
Do better. That's what I was saying. I saw it with my mom and dad, and I wanted to see it with them. After the film, we went to lunch to talk about it, and I just asked them a lot of questions, which I would always do, and they've always taught history to me and told me about their history and the things they went through, my grandparents and great aunts and all that. But this particular film, I asked them if they remembered the first time they voted, how they felt when they voted, how they felt about hearing about Bloody Sunday and so forth. And neither of them have missed a local or national election since they were able to vote. And they drilled that into my head, and ever since I turned 18, I have not missed a local nor national election. And I will continue to do that. And also, when you say vote, we need to vote, but we need to be an informed voter.
Right.
Let's just not vote because your mama said to vote for this person. You need to know the issues, know the candidate, know what's happening in your local community and in the national society as a whole, so you can make an informed vote too. But definitely, I left that film saying, you know what? Yeah, we all need to do better because the power is there. We have the power. That's why they're afraid. That's why they keep doing redistricting and changing the laws to make it harder for us to vote, because when we collectively vote, we do make change. We just haven't bought into it.
And that's another reason why they, one of the greatest tactics in war is divide and conquer. Mm-hmm. So they continue to divide us as a race. They attempt to divide us as a race, and also attempt to divide us as minorities in general. Because the worst thing you can happen now is for the black vote and the Hispanic vote to get together.
Yep.
Because now that's real power. Now you're talking about affecting an election. We literally have the power to, if everybody got behind it, or even just say like 80% got behind of it, we literally have the power to pretty much pick candidates and say, that's what we want, everybody vote for them, and it'll swing the whole everything. So you constantly want to keep people in power. And I don't want to say white people, because it's not just white people, it's a power structure that you're really fighting against. And the people in power want to continue to keep subgenres of people divided, so you can't get together and exercise the real strength in numbers that we really are capable of doing.
Mm-hmm.
There it is, man. 407-894-1680.
You know, I kind of like the way I stated that.
407-894-1680.
You patting yourself on the back.
A little bit.
You feeling yourself?
I'm feeling myself a little bit. I like the way I eloquently stated.
Yo,
there
very
you go,
good.
brother.
You know.
Very good.
Like I said, man, I'd love to hear if you went out and saw the film, or if you experienced the history and want to shed some light with us. We'd love to hear from you. 407-894-1680. For those that are just tuning in, we've just been talking about the film Selma, and some of the impacts that we took away from it.
You know, I actually have I haven't seen the film, and I think did Mom see that?
She said.
Okay, she did see it. I was say, well, we have a difference. My mom, I always ask her about, did she participate in the city? It's because, she was in Tallahassee in the 60s, and she was like, I couldn't even take the practices. It's like, because, they used to practice. Mm-hmm. She said she would sit in and say, once they got to do all that hitting and stuff, I was like, no, because I was ready to do something. So it's just like, nah, and it's funny, she just told me the other day, her mom used to say, don't you be up there doing all that stuff, participating in all that stuff, because, she was afraid for her life.
Absolutely.
So it's just funny, because, and my mom, she usually is not the type to like nostalgic films, because she said it just bring back too many memories that she don't like to go back to. Mm-hmm. So like The Butler and 12 Years a Slave, she don't like to see all that kind of stuff.
Well, not slavery, but she lived like the Butler era.
Yeah, I mean, my mom from Sebring, Florida, and if you don't know if you're familiar with Sebring, but Sebring's not big now. Right. So it's like the reason it's grown to what it is now is because they've built the mall there within the last it's been like 20 years. And they've grown the city itself out back to the main highway with 27. Oh. So, but before it was kind of off 27, cross the train tracks, you're in the black neighborhood type of thing.
5 streets.
So you're talking about, I mean, not 5 streets, but and it's like I said, it's Highlands County, so it's groves. You're surrounded by orange groves. So you were, let's say that.
Ask her, when I was talking to my mom, there were times when things would happen in the nation. Tallahassee in particular, these small towns would block out the signal so that they couldn't see it and amp up that group. So I think my mom was like, as far as the actual Selma broadcast, she believes that was blocked out, but they heard, obviously the word of mouth got through in Tallahassee and Alabama. Mm-hmm. But the actual visual initially, they didn't see it because they blocked it out in Tallahassee.
Yeah, they didn't want everybody to see the imagery. Mm-hmm. It's like, look, they really down here messing these folks up.
If these people will do this,
I didn't say what I wanted to say, but they was doing it to them.
Yes, they were.
It's almost like, and I hate to say, I would say, I am glad I wasn't around down that time, because I really am a nice guy. I'm cool, laid back, but I'm one of the guys like once I get mad, I'm mad. and it's gonna be some furniture moving. Okay. You understand what I'm trying to say? so it's like, that's why I'm glad I wasn't around that time, because I don't know. Y'all might have been a memorial about me somewhere, 'cause he was the one that fought to the end.
and that's, I think people always say I would have been fighting, but even today's marches, the threat of actually dying is minimum as compared to back in the day.
Much more.
Like they knew,
they
if I do this,
we might not go back home.
I seriously might die.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yep.
It's insane.
And then to go out there and do it, that's bravery right there.
Yeah.
That's real. You talking about a guy having heart. You talking about being real. You talking about being about that life. That's it right there.
That is it. It doesn't get realer than that, man.
No, it don't.
Doesn't get realer than that. Miss Jasmine Burney's in the building. How you doing, Jasmine?
Doing well, everyone. How are y'all doing?
Moments with Jazz.
Yes, I miss you guys.
We miss you too.
You've been MIA for a minute.
I know. Election season is over, so I'm back to normalcy.
So we've been talking about Selma. You got any thoughts on that? You seen the movie yet?
So I haven't seen the movie yet, and I'm very disappointed that I haven't. The only reason why I haven't is because I'm waiting to see the screening with my church.
Okay.
So I've just been anxiously sitting at home, twiddling my thumbs, waiting to go see it. And so next Saturday, our church the Experience Christian Center is doing a screening, and I'll go and see it then.
We have y'all two impatient, huh?
Listen.
Oh, I'm not mad at you. I'm just saying. I'm just mad at you.
I can do both.
Okay, yeah, you're right. You're right.
I was trying to.
I was there because I know there's two more people up here that frequent the experience.
Well, that and too, I always try and support every black movie on
the first weekend. I know because you are. I mean, I do understand you are a movie person and you real about that. Every black movie that come out, you go
for years.
He asked me, Jeremy, you going to the movie this weekend? No, I gotta work. I gotta work. I understand it counts, but as long as they get my $8.50 and check ticket stubs too, y'all.
Yes.
Make sure they don't give y'all one of the Big Hero 6 or something. I don't know. They got enough money. Just saying.
This is true.
But it's like I said, it was powerful, man. It was powerful. Just like the imagery, like I said, it just reminded me of the Passion of the Christ when you saw that imagery, and just seeing it is another vibe. I think seeing it is a whole nother vibe. So, take away, if you're not voting now, it's movies like Selma that should be a reminder of why it is you should be voting, regardless of what you think about the process. Participate in the process, and perhaps that process can change. Yeah. But talking about it will certainly leave it exactly the way it is. So please go out and see Selma. Definitely go out and support. They didn't do too well at the Golden Globes. They did get best song. How do they describe that category? Best song for a film? Yeah, that's how they describe it. They did win best song for
young
a film.
Brother in the street.
So that was cool. But
yep, that was a great speech.
But they didn't give anything for
instead
for the movie though. Unfortunately,
we'll see.
We'll see what Oscar season does.
Oscars are announced tomorrow.
Oh, okay.
So we'll see.
Oh, that's exciting.
What comes?
All right, we don't care about none of that stuff. I'm just gonna be honest with you. We don't be looking for no Oscars. Don't be disappointed about not winning no awards. I mean, come on. We've been doing this since The Color Purple. I mean, come on. What do we expect? Don't expect anything.
No, but see, that's when you typically get an award when you're either in a film and you get beat.
I understand, but I don't even subscribe to it's a great film. It's Oscar worthy.
That's when you get nominated.
I.e. 12 Years a Slave.
The majority of movies we make Oscar worthy, but hey, somebody got to vote for them.
When you get abused on film, that's usually when you get a nomination.
Or if your name's Denzel and you act like the devil himself.
Wow.
Exactly. That's when you get nominations.
That's a whole nother story.
It's possible. Well, maybe not, because Martin Luther King doesn't die in this film, so maybe not.
But expectations. We ain't worried about no Oscars, no Golden Globes. If it's a good movie, support the movie. Period.
Yeah.
But the publicity from it, I think, is what I think the movie will benefit from. If they do get a nomination, that still speaks volumes to the director. That speaks volumes to Oprah Winfrey. So I think
y'all, Oprah don't need no volumes.
Well, she'll continue to fund, programs in the future.
She just go fund it, but she go. I mean, to me, it almost seems like now she's at a place where especially any historical movie, she even sniff about somebody with a screenplay. She go do it, let's make this happen, which I really am proud of her doing because she doesn't have to.
Correct.
Because she ain't the only one with money that got the ability to finance films now.
Correct.
She is not.
But she doing it, she ain't putting no After Earth. No, my bad. I'm sorry.
And once again, Brad Pitt's company
After Earth
produced it.
I like
Yes,
that movie.
Brad
along
Pitt.
with 12 Years a Slave.
You're
so
correct.
Yeah, he did.
Mr. Pitt is
A money man. Oh, sorry.
well, yeah, but he's choosing some.
Well, he do got
really
black
good
kids, don't he?
projects. Yes, he does.
He does.
African kids. technically.
Yes.
They black.
No, they're African.
We still black.
No, because they're actually from Africa.
Okay, but they black. When the cop pulled it over and he sit in the car, what he gonna say?
He's gonna say he's black.
Oh, he gonna say get the African
She,
guy.
it's a little girl.
Oh,
Yeah, it's a
oh,
little
She,
girl.
okay. That was bad.
Jeez.
They go
I
call
don't
it.
know.
So they go call it Mrs.
I
N-word.
just know he has kids that are darker than him.
You are
That's all.
horrible.
I'm just saying. I mean, I just say that because to me, we black. We all black. I don't care what continent you come from. We all we black.
Okay.
You know.
There it is.
I'm sorry.
I
I know
hear you.
it got off subject. I'm sorry.
No, we are. We
You
are.
all right. You all right, sir. Let's go ahead and talk to Miss Burney, though. Miss Burney, tell us why you're here. You got an event coming up, right?
I do. Thank you so much for having me. First of all, I greatly appreciate this.
Anytime.
So I have an event. I have started a organization called Chicks in Politics. It's something I have been sitting on, thinking about, and wanting to share with the masses for a very long time, and really decided to move on this idea after the 2014 gubernatorial election. Sadly, I feel like our state weakened instead of strengthened in its and I'd say its voting power and its decision making as it relates to just us as individuals. And now that we have a presidential election that will begin in 2016, it is truly going to be the rise of the female voter. And I want to be a strong participant in making sure that African American women are on the forefront in any way I possibly can. So this event, Chicks in Politics, it's a brunch and learn series. So there will be a number of different events taking place once a quarter throughout Orlando that really expose the African American women who work on political campaigns and with political nonprofits, either locally, statewide, or nationally. And it is going to take place on January 31st, 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. at La Vie Spa. It's La Vie Wellness Center, also African American owned business, and that is located in Metro West. That is 6488 Curran, so Currin Drive, Orlando, Florida, 32835. And again, it's 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. It's strictly for women. There are so many guys who are very interested in this event, and I'm wondering, are they interested in the chicks or are they interested in the politics part?
Well, it might be a little bit of both. But.
And I can understand that. It's pretty catchy. It's an attractive name.
Yes.
But it's strictly for the ladies this time around. And I have 5 really great panelists who are going to be a part of this project. The first one is Coy Jones. She is a local organizer or statewide organizer for a labor union, African-American female I've known for quite some time, who's worked on some really great races here in the state of Florida. I also have Alicia Stallworth. She is a political consultant here in Florida and most recently worked on Charlie Crist for governor's race. Monisha Perkins, she is the former aide to Tiffany Moore Russell and also was very instrumental in Tiffany Moore Russell's election as the first African-American clerk of court here in Orange County. Then we have Sheena Mees. She works for a national political nonprofit as a interim director. And finally, Juanica Fernandez, a regional director for Enroll America. So if you're familiar with Obamacare, she's someone who hosts events throughout the state and makes sure that people are enrolled and they're aware of what's going on as it relates to your healthcare options. So again, it's January 31st from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. at La Vie Wellness Spa. And again, It's for the ladies, but it's really designed to get more women of color involved in politics, showing them that there are women of color who work in this field, that your time and talents are extremely valuable, and we want to make sure that we share that information with people out there. Because oftentimes you don't see that some of us African-American women working on races, and we're working longer and harder hours just to get the job done, not to get exposure. But I think it's time. These women I've known for years, and it's time for them to have a platform that they can share the work that they do and recruit others to be a part of this process.
What's the cost?
It's free.
It's free.
It is free. And you can go to Chicks in Politics. So Chicks, CHICKS, the letter N, politics.com to RSVP. So it is a free event. If you don't RSVP and show up, you might not get brunch. But
repeat that again, please.
Chicks, CHICKS, the letter N, politics.com.
And that's also on the Real Family Talk Facebook page.
Great.
As well as
Yes, we hold you down, John.
Thank you.
Always,
I appreciate you guys.
Always holding Jasmine down. So it's definitely on the Real Family Talk Facebook page. So if you go check that out as well.
Invite.
and I do plan on having future events that involve both men and women.
Me and Brother King might maybe need some setup men or something. You know,
You gotta have that. You can't do this and all that stuff. Like, for real.
Ladies
You gotta have some
only.
muscle somewhere.
We've got it taken care of.
You sure about that?
I'm so sure.
Mr. King said he can volunteer his time. Anytime Chicks in Politics needs
Future events, I promise.
I like this though. I like this. This is a very good idea.
Thank you.
I'm all about. See, this is the thing I like about it. Women, y'all must understand this. Even though some of y'all know it, but y'all don't really take advantage of it. Y'all really do have the power to change the behavior of a lot of men. You really, really do.
You're correct.
And if you demand better, a lot of men will change.
Yep.
But you got to demand better. If you accept nothing, we're gonna act like that. Unfortunately, a lot. Sometimes we just, like better, we just lazy with it. You let us be lazy, we're gonna be lazy.
And in addition to that, women are the matriarchs of their family. They make a lot of these decisions as to who you vote for, how the finances are spent in the home, caring for your children, the day-to-day. So the way that the woman of the house goes is the way the house or the family will go as well.
Sometimes.
So it's surprising that it's free. Like, that's one thing that gets me. Like an event like this that actually empowers and actually gives so much information that's actually free, and that's the main thing. Because when you hear free, you should have started out with that.
Oh.
FREE.
Because once you say free, it's like, hold on, what? Hold on.
Yeah.
So can you give the address and where it's going to be at one more time for me?
It is going to be at La Vie Wellness Spa, and the address is 6488 Curran Drive. Curran is CURRIN Drive, Orlando, Florida 32839. And that's La Vie Wellness Spa.
See, I want to go just because it said La Vie Wellness Spa. Like that's what made me.
You're
of course,
thinking
I
of
do want to get
any
some education
excuse
and
to
trust it.
come.
You're
I
just going to
definitely
drive
do
by
my
like
politics.
Mr. King.
He's gonna roll by and make sure everything's okay.
Right.
Yeah.
He
Security.
just want to stop by get a facial or something.
Oh my goodness.
On my face with the cucumber. You know what I'm saying? On my face.
No.
I'm just saying, man. Any excuse to get there.
We're going to have a ton of giveaways. We've got shirts, we've got
Yes.
mugs, we've got spa treatments that we're going to be raffling off. So it's going to be a good event.
Disappointed for real now.
I'm just saying, whenever you do the one for the men, make sure you get like some Final Four tickets and
Exactly.
really, see if you do
listen.
that for the men, you don't even need all the cups and all that stuff. Just say one thing: we giving away Final Four tickets. Every man, them letting them go show up.
You're probably
Vote,
right.
go vote. Ain't nobody registered. Vote.
Mess. Well, we will be there. I just RSVP'd. J. Real's
you.
wife will be there. So
Good.
We'll tell some more people about it.
Thank you.
Is there an attire? Are we supposed to be in our business?
Business chic.
Okay.
So you don't necessarily have to come in an all full-on business suit, but whatever you're comfortable in, just no jeans, no
Right.
sneakers, no flats, or no like flip-flops or things
Right.
of that
We're
nature.
professional women.
Yes, professional women.
Got it.
Yeah.
That's awesome, man.
It is.
That's awesome. And are any of these, all of these ladies work in the political field, right? Nobody's a featured candidate for anything at the moment, right?
Correct. None of these ladies have past candidates or future candidates that I am currently aware of.
Okay.
No, they're all here representing the organizations that they work for or projects that they have coming up that are really important to this specific demographic of people.
Gotcha.
I have a question about a future candidate. How do you feel, and it's not about Florida, but it's the national, how do you feel about California Attorney General Kamala Harris thinking about going to the Senate?
So here's the little dilemma I have.
I knew you had some thoughts about it.
So I like her.
Yeah,
I love her.
She's awesome.
I wanted to retweet, post, share, spread it with the world because, my Facebook is all about I'm just putting out information.
Yes.
Then I read the article and realized that I worked for her possible opponent just this past election cycle, and I love him. I think he's also a great candidate for this race. So I am not sure how this is going to go, but I love and adore her. But I also know and have worked for him and enjoy him as a person as well. Mm-hmm. So that is going to be one that I am going to watch extremely closely to see how it goes. But it's a bit conflicting because she's an African American woman.
I was going to say,
and
we're just promoting women in here, man.
And that's what I'm all about. And I promote her candicazy, but
is he a man?
It is a man.
Okay.
Yep, white male.
Oh, white male too. Huh?
Uh-oh.
So,
Two strikes.
How is it
a strike?
I'm just saying, we had La Vie. You know what I'm saying?
My goodness.
How we go from La Vie across the street to the country club.
Oh
That's all
my
I'm saying.
gosh, no, don't do that.
That's why I
Don't
was
do
tying
that.
it in.
Don't do
because
that.
she's-
No,
I'm just messing with you. You got a job to do, and you're good at your job. From what I
And
can
it's
see,
not
so.
just because I have a job or that it's just my job and that's why I'm going to support this man. No, I want to look at both candidates. I, however, don't vote in that California.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have many contacts there, but I do know that I do know one of these candidates much better than I know the other.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So I'm going to sit back, watch, and see how it goes, and definitely push out information about the both of them.
There you go. Good answer.
Yeah, I like the way she answered
That's
that.
good. I was excited.
But I wouldn't be mad at you. I mean, at the end of the day, it is your job. So, you got to go to one to cutting the check.
Oh my gosh!
I mean, you have a professional career to go do.
That was very politically correct.
I'm not mad at you doing what you do for your career.
Yes, thank you.
She could have hired you too,
Hey,
but she chose not.
Oh no!
you never know.
Hey.
I was excited to see that though. So, like you, I'll be watching and see how it goes.
Yes, it should be an exciting race.
At least she's in the right state.
Yes, and
She
she's done
is.
some awesome things out there. So we'll see.
So hopefully, she gets the funding she needs to win this race, because that is what it's going to really boil down to.
Yep.
Meeting those constituents and having the funding to really communicate her message.
Now, I'm not familiar with that particular race. Is the current senator over there, is that a Republican or are they also Democratic?
I don't know.
Barbara Boxer.
Barbara Rock
Y'all
for
own
that
it, 'cause
district.
I ain't gonna lie. I have no idea who y'all talking about.
Look, this is coming.
I'm not gonna lie.
I want you to see. She's
Okay.
I mean, I'll check it out
Guys
after we leave, but
like
I was
her.
just, throwing my 2
okay.
cents in. I don't know what you're talking about, but I'm with
So
you.
we'll see what happens.
I'm with you. She
We'll see
said
what
she
happens.
behind one of them, so they probably gonna win. So.
She's got a lot of support,
I
though.
haven't thrown my support behind either.
Oh, okay.
Right.
All right.
Don't
I'm
put her
okay.
name
Oh,
in
my
there.
bad. I'm sorry.
Clear it out.
She's
The
getting
views I
a-
express are strictly the views of Jeremy.
She's getting a lot of support, so we'll see what happens.
Yep.
Come 2016,
She is.
the big wigs are coming out and calling her name.
And she's
yeah.
a Democrat. Barbara Boxer's a Democrat.
She chosen, huh?
I don't know if she's chosen, but they're speaking her name into existence.
As they would say on the wire, if her name ringing out, that means something.
I mean, we knew this was coming. She spoke at the national convention.
Oh, okay. So yeah, she in the pipeline.
Yeah,
She's in the pipeline.
she's a star.
She's
coming
going
up.
through
She's coming
the
up through that.
process.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
What my boy Cory Book at? Where he at? What
He's in
happened?
the
He
Senate.
just won.
Yeah.
No, I'm talking about as far as the presidential. I know he's in the Senate in
Time.
Georgia.
Yeah,
Time.
we don't need
Yeah,
any
he-
more first-term senators
Yeah,
running
give
for
him some
president.
time.
Right.
I'm just asking. I didn't say I didn't say he was a good choice. I was just asking.
We've tried this first-term senator
He's the
project.
mayor.
tried.
And I absolutely love the idea
We
of
tried
it, and I think
I don't
that
see
it was
where-
a
That's what I'm
success.
saying. I don't see where it's wrong, so I'm good to problem with it.
Hey,
See, sometimes you need somebody who somewhat new to the game, who's not 20, 30 years entrenched in it, you know.
But my spirit says that we will not have another African American president for a little while. Just a little while.
My spirit don't say that.
People were saying that before Barack became
It was
president.
before, but not here.
But still, come on
It's
now.
gonna
Your
be a
spirit,
minute.
don't.
Hey, Doug
We
Williams
was-
had to
we
get in
was
there.
saying
After Doug
that.
Williams gone, now everybody coming through. Now we got McNair, Kaepernick, RG3, you know what I'm saying? Somebody had to be first.
What
But
was
then the
that?
floodgates open.
The gap
Exactly.
in between the.
But he was the only one. But he was some other ones. He was the only one that started.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes. Okay. So we'll see.
Remember,
what
it was a
happens,
gap
man.
between him because he started in '79. Then he came back up in the late '80s.
Yeah. So it took some time.
Yeah.
Is what she's saying.
Yeah.
It's gonna take some time.
Correct.
We'll-
It will
no,
take some time.
No, I'm not. I won't speak that into existence.
Okay.
It's Cory Booker, your candidate.
It ain't
It
gotta be
sounds
Cory.
like it.
It ain't gotta be Cory Booker. It could be anybody. You know how I do, Jim. I already told you.
All right.
If he come up wearing a white robe, I'm with him.
What?
I'm sorry, we just had a discussion
Oh, okay.
about supporting African American presidential candidates. I said, I don't care if you was a card carrying member of the Klan, I'm voting for him.
Oh. All right.
Okay. Well, everybody's got their opinion.
So what was
you gonna
just-
vote for Clayton Bigsby?
Exactly.
Clayton
Clayton
Bigsby for
Bigsby.
president is what I'm trying to tell you.
What?
Clayton
what I'm
Bigsby
trying
can
to
get
tell
your
you.
vote.
Oh my God.
Yes, he would.
Okay.
Matter of fact, I'd drive the bus to the poll.
Oh my
You trying to say that Uncle Ruckus can get your vote?
I don't know about Uncle Ruckus. I don't know about Uncle Ruckus.
Just said, bro.
You know.
Uncle Ruckus can get your vote.
Oh man, anything else you want to tell us about the event, Jasmine?
That's about it. Just, look out for the next one to be hopefully in March for Women's History Month. But this first one, I do believe, is going to be one to watch. And so if anyone can attend, again, that's Chicks in Politics, a Brunch and Learn series, taking place on January 31st from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m.
Awesome, man. Awesome. So please look forward to that. I did, while you're here, I don't know if you have to run or anything,
Nope.
but I had to get a quick question in on you. Talking about the famous one. That's what I'm going to call him today.
Okay.
What do you think about, well, I kind of know what your opinion would be, but I just want to hear it anyway. What do you think about his new initiative to offer free community college scholarships to graduating seniors?
I think it's brilliant.
Thank you.
I think it's brilliant, but so there is a caveat. I think that is a great opportunity and wish that I had that when I was getting ready to go to
Amen.
college.
I got my AA
am-
and I had to pay for it.
I'm paying back student loans and probably will for the rest of my life as a
Oh.
result of my undergraduate degree. So having the years poor would have been a tremendous blessing. And to only have to maintain a C average, and you're only taking, core
2.5.
you're only taking core courses your first 2 years,
Right.
that would have been a breeze. So I think it's brilliant, especially for people within our community backgrounds.
Right.
And I know that without my education, I would not be in some of the places that I have had an opportunity to be in. And no one's ever asked to see it. No one's ever said I need to hold it. They just know I've graduated because I am a proud member of my, institutions. And without it, I would not have been able to do so many things. But then here's the caveat. We create a free undergraduate program for the first 2 years of school. Then what do we do about our HBCUs who provides curriculum to that of these community colleges? I know that there are community colleges in some cities, and more specifically Daytona Beach, where it was Daytona Beach Community College, which then turned into Daytona State College, because tuition is so much lower, and the cost offerings are so much higher. There has been a decrease in enrollment for HBCUs because they have these community colleges right down the street. Now you're going to have free tuition for the first 2 years, and of course they'll transfer out and go to state institutions, but they may not go to these HBCUs that are much higher.
Because now you're guaranteed to get into the UCF.
Correct, or the UF.
I ain't gonna lie, that's what I
The
did.
UF.
Or the FSU. You're guaranteed to get into these state colleges,
Right.
and you'll have the backing and support of a school that is deemed to be more prestigious than that of a HBCU. So that is my one fear, that I don't know how HBCUs will be able to maintain themselves through this process if it comes to fruition. And as a product of 2 HBCUs, I fear that that's going to be a major issue.
Here's my thing. One, I think HBCUs, they lost their hustle. And not saying they can compete with this particular program, but I don't know. It's like, it's a competition to get kids now, It's a competition. One is it as many kids going to college as was when we graduated? It seems like it's not. I don't know. Could somebody tell me some numbers? Y'all know, don't know? But
I'm not sure.
But it just seems like, really, just go out about your everyday life, talking to different people. How many people? Oh yeah, my cousin's going to college or my nephew's going. You don't, you just don't. Not something you hear on a regular basis. So it's like, to me, it's just like recruiting. You got to go get them. You got to go, not go far.
But when there isn't funding or the funding that's available is the only option by way of Sally Mae, that is a less attractive reason to come. I could care less how good the band is, how great the sports are. If I can't afford to live after I get this degree and you can't even guarantee me a job, no institution can guarantee you that.
Right.
But if you know that you're leaving out of school with half of the debt, then I don't know how your recruiting efforts are going to top these free community colleges. Unless, and then, I was going to say, unless you stay, if you don't want to live in the city where you grew up at and you want to move to another city, but you can just go to a community college in another city.
Right, go to a community college in another city, yeah.
But that's what, you got to get, just like any corporation, you got to get creative with it. Let's say, okay, we go partner with whatever's in your town, city, or even something close by. Let's say we can put you on a work study where you can take not 12 hours, but take 9 hours and you can work so you can afford to go to school and maybe you don't have to borrow as much money. Take on less. I'm just saying, you got to kind of do what you got to do.
Be creative, form partnerships.
Right. Because at the end of the day, the job is to graduate as many kids as you can, and then but you got to get them in first. So.
Well, and I agree with everything you said as far as some of the problems with that. Because, you just think, just our general Central Florida area, like you were saying, most of the community colleges are now turned into state colleges. So those are not opportunities, at least the theory of what it is right now, that would be a missed opportunity for students to go to college at this point because there is no community college in the area.
Right.
Not like it used to be. It was about 4 or 5 of them just 5 years ago. Now I think there's one, if that.
Correct.
So that opportunity is there. The concern about the HBCUs is there. But for me, because I always think conservatively.
Who's going to pay for
it? Who's going to pay for this?
Who's going to pay for this?
Don't get me wrong.
In the world
don't get me wrong. I understand what you're saying, but as I have said before, if we could go in the hole for war and every other thing we can find money for, why are we not investing in the future of this country?
How about that?
That is the biggest thing. That's why I keep saying that. We broke, right? We was broke 4 or 5 years ago. So we was in all this debt that we couldn't afford to do nothing. We had to cut everything. All of a sudden, war break out. We find $1 billion to go to war. So it's like
we found it. We borrowed it.
But it happens.
But for as I see it, I think those are the things that we're fighting. We're fighting to prevent us from going and spending $1 billion to go to war. Because everybody knows the wars that we have participated in over the last 10 years have been truly fruitless.
Not fruitless for return on investment.
Fruitless. There has been no return on investment.
Not for you and me, but somebody got some money.
Halliburton is happy.
You know what I'm saying?
You had stock in Halliburton. You're a happy man right now. But beyond that, they've been pretty much fruitless. And so I think that's the challenge of what we're fighting for is as a country for us to do better. I think I agree the program is great. But let's do some things so that we don't have to continue to put ourselves in debt in order to fund a program like it. That's because as his theory of it exists anyway, 75% would come from the feds and 25% would come from the states. Well, a lot of states are strapped as well. So you got a strapped federal and you got a strapped state. And everybody's now supposed to magic find this money that because it's a great idea. Like, no, let's do better and find a way where we don't have to go in debt to put a plan like that in place. Because a lot of other countries do have plans like this where you can go to college for free for a couple of years. Some of them have where you can go to college for free your entire time. Over in Britain, they go to med school for free. So, the programs like this exist. And again, fiscally, they're having problems over there because of stuff like this. So, let's just be smart about it before we continue to blow up our national debt. And again, at some point, that chickens are going to come home to roost too. And just be smart about how we create these plans. But there's a lot of thought process and work needs to go with it, because like you say, with the HBCUs, I mean, they're already struggling. They're struggling financially. They're struggling with some of them with their accreditations as well. So to cash strap them even further, because I'm a product of HBCU. So I certainly, have a passion for them as well. And I tell all my kids, you need to go to a HBCU. That's the first thing I say. Hey man, they are 10 hours away. Somehow you can't always get away.
You ain't about that 10-hour drive when you was up.
I would take it a step further to say that if our president leaves it on our states to pay that additional fee to go along with what he is planning to propose for funding, and states choose, Florida's not getting it. We don't even have to worry about it. Florida's not getting it.
No. Not under this government.
No, not under this current government.
That 25 cheaper than that 100.
Correct.
Not under this
the
government.
Amount that they will give us.
Though, a lot of states are going to have that issue. There's a lot of governors, I believe, that if Congress were to move forward, which that also is not going to happen. But that also is not going to happen. But if they were to move forward, the next president takes up this agenda, because it will be the next president that is willing to take up this agenda. Depending on how the Congress shakes up, I think it's going to be hard to get it out of there. But if they do it like they did with the healthcare, when they put it on the states to opt in, I think you're going to see at least half of the states not opt in.
Correct.
Because again, they're all ready to the hilt, and it's like I'm with you. It sounds great. It's a beautiful idea. Same kind of idea what they said with healthcare. It's sweet. It's awesome. It's lovely, but. We
can't afford it.
We can't afford to know that we're going to spend $1 billion or $2 billion, in the debt eventually in order to keep these kind of things going. So, we'll see what happens though. But I'm with you. It is a beautiful plan. The only thing I would change, I'm sorry, if you did 2.5 in high school, you don't deserve no scholarship to go nowhere.
I would agree. I would agree with that. I would agree with that.
But I would change that. You need at least get a 3.0. I need to see some kind of commitment.
Let's say you
I don't want to give scholarships out to people who had a 2.5.
No, this is what I'm saying. At least this. Okay, that first semester you pay for, bring me a 3.0, then we can talk.
Or there's a time frame that they have to. You have to start here, and you only have a semester to raise this GPA. Like maybe that may be an option, but you have so many things to consider in this. You don't know where a child's educational level is, because another thing with HBCUs, and this may be the case with community colleges, they have college prep courses that you take to get students up to the level that they need to be in order to make or meet the requirements for college. So those may be some things that factor into GPAs as well. So I don't think 2.5 is harsh. If you only need it to play sports, and if you only need it to be a part of extra. Actually, I think you only need a 2.0.
2.0
to be a part of
yeah.
extracurricular activities.
Really?
Yeah.
Why are you shocked by that?
I guess because in my household that wasn't. I wasn't playing basketball if I came home. with 2.0.
But let's just be real.
Some people just
the
buy
dollar
time
sign,
to
the dollar sign.
next level.
Shoot, you good enough. You don't got to get a 2.0. You can have 1.8 in your first semester, because you're only gonna be here 1 year anyway. We'll put you in the remedial classes that you don't get credit for. So technically, you don't have to go to class, and you just play basketball for about 6 months, and then you be off campus the second semester after the tournament, so you can go prep for the NBA. But no, just breaking the game down to you if you don't know. If you don't know.
So we'll see what happens, man. Like I said, it's a great plan. The idea is awesome, but there's so many details, especially when you consider our current environment, that are missing. It's just like
you know what this country problem is. We always
bloated programs out here,
which is actually I think is on purpose. We always late in the game. With everything. You hear about all these other countries. They've been doing things like this for years, and yeah, some of them are a little cash strapped. But look, we cash strapped and we ain't did nothing for nobody. So what position you rather be in?
I wouldn't say that we haven't done anything for anyone.
We do everything from
yeah.
No. But what I'm saying investing in future. To me, this is something that's
investing in education.
Yeah, that's to me that's investing in the future of your country. So you may be cash strapped now, but maybe you don't get free education to the next person coming up the pipeline that can fix all this.
But what we don't see are people who, or the funding that goes towards research for curing specific diseases, funding that they pay for a person's health. Like, that's pretty instrumental here in this country. So because we don't hear about it, they don't talk about it, we don't see it, we can't compare it to something that is more tangible to us, and that is education, because we're currently paying out of pocket for that.
Well, they fund billions and billions of dollars a year on science research.
Correct.
So I mean, we do a lot of stuff to progress the country, the people as a whole. But
let me disagree with you about the scientific research. Right?
We do not invest.
How long
in
we've been
education.
researching cancer? But we don't have a cure for it.
Well, to be honest with you, then I doubt very seriously they find a cure for cancer.
So you still the belief that we don't got one, huh?
That's just a scientific opinion.
You still of the belief that there's not one out there.
They will find some ways
to
control, but I don't think there's ever going to be a cure for cancer.
Yeah, I believe it's a cure because.
But please send in research to support the idea. What? That's just my science.
Hey, this is my stop. Well, I'm not gonna say completely stop, but why? Let me see. I'm not saying a fruitless cause, but let's curb some of that and put some of the stuff in education. You understand what I'm saying? Because I mean, seriously. I mean, you think about it. People say, okay, we're gonna have a fund for cancer, and you got like 10 different funds out there that raise $10 million each. So it's like. But if you listen to what they're telling you, they're not getting any closer. So, I mean, come on, let's direct some of this.
I don't know what the cost is of trial and error. I don't know what the cost is.
Let's get some of this, you know what I'm saying? Let's redirect some of this stuff to something that's something more tangible. You understand what I'm saying?
Well, they may have been able to use that funding to figure out ways to help people live longer.
Right.
Not necessarily cure it, but to help them live longer.
Right. Which is what they're going to ultimately do. Is they're going to help.
But see, that's my. See, this is my. But this again. Again, this is my issue with it. This is my issue with it. We all know what pharmaceutical companies do. Correct. They all in to make money. Correct. So at the end of the day, they just want you to live longer, so they can keep getting more money, so you can keep taking their pills. All right. So why we still funding them to this magnitude? Let's say that.
Because it's about hope. Because if you have
a
loved one,
I hope.
If you have a loved one,
I got more hope in kids getting education.
Situation.
Let's just say that I got more hope in kids getting education than making sure somebody.
If you have a loved one in that situation, you want them to do everything they can to make them last
We got people
longer.
that died of cancer.
Oh my!
Yeah, we got people.
It sounds like we have an education advocate here. That I think I am going to get you connected with some folks to make sure that we get kids around this state some funding for education.
That's what I'm about educating, because I'm like, oh man, come on, man, we go get sick, we go die. You know, the Bible says it's all the point of a man a day to die. We can raise all the money we want to. You gone. So, you know, I mean, okay, sometimes we want to live more comfortable and all that good stuff. That sounds good, but let's get these kids in the school. Because there's too many knuckleheads running around here who think they know something that don't know nothing.
Well, you're right about that.
There it is, man.
That's all I'm saying. I'm about practical things. Why we keep, it's like, okay, we got a fund for this and a fund for this and fund for this. And you look up 5 years and say, we raised all that money. Now what happened? What happened? Are we any closer to curing cancer? No. Hold on. Y'all done got $200 million in the last 5 years. You can't give me nothing? You can't tell me, okay, we killed one cell?
Well, I think you're.
I mean, give me something,
you're
man.
You're at the end result of full curing. We have come a long way with the disease. So
I'm not saying we have not.
The work hasn't gone without.
With cancer.
Again, I'm not saying we haven't.
You're not.
And I'm a sports guy, so here's my thing too. And some people gonna be mad at me, but whatever. We raised all this money for the Jimmy V Foundation area, right?
Right.
But then you got the kids in school. Well, it's changing now, but you can't eat, and you playing basketball, making hundreds of $1 millions for his university. You see what I'm saying? Stuff like this, the game is just twisted. You understand what I'm trying to say?
Well, it's not that.
The game is twisted.
Again, as we know in this country, we spend a lot of time with hope. You know, we raise the most money for situations where you can provide hope for somebody
Okay,
else.
well, forget about hope. Let's have faith.
And so,
all right?
And that's what it's about, though. It's not about all of this practical stuff you're trying to talk about right now.
Hey.
I mean, I understand what you're saying, and we can all agree.
Hey, like I said, I'm
that,
you,
that
you
certainly
know me. I'm about practical
we
stuff.
can get it.
What
we can get a lot
do?
further, perhaps, as a society, if children are being educated better. I don't think you'll find a disagreement there. But when you're comparing it to, raising money for different research societies that exist that, for all intents and purposes, haven't shown you some tangible step forward, if you will. Again, those things are not about practical. Those things are about providing hope for the people who are experiencing those situations. And so, just the idea that, my mother got diagnosed with breast cancer, and maybe 50 years ago, she got diagnosed on Monday and was dead by Saturday. Mm-hmm. Now she can get diagnosed on Monday, and, she's 2 years later, she's still living with it. That right there is the progress and the hope that people are satisfied with. And that's what they've pretty much provided at this point in the game. And so that's what people are looking for. That's why they still donate, to think, oh, wow, so they got them from 1 day or 1 week to 2 years. Imagine if they can get them from 1 week to 10 years to 20 years. And if they do that, then for all intents and purposes, no, it is not a cure, but it is at least the solution and the hope that people have when their loved ones fall victim to whatever particular disease you want to name.
Correct.
So that's what it's about.
I'm living proof of the advances of the healthcare.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm not against not funding it at all, but it's like, I mean, seriously, let somebody start a cancer fund and see how much money they get just like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So your argument is not exactly the cancer or the research.
I'm not about
why
not
don't
funding.
we have the same funding, same tenacity to raise funds to educate our kids?
But I already know the answer. Mm-hmm. I know the answer because the people who they really want to have an education, they don't need no help getting it. You understand what I'm trying to say? Mm-hmm. Because everybody who they really want to have an education, learn stuff, they can pay for it. They write their check. It's not even a big deal. Right. Or they getting in on nepotism or whatever the case.
Well, see, and then on top of that, Jimmy V. That's a very public organization. Their groups, the 100 Black Men of Orlando, they're sending kids. So we have groups that do that. It's just not on a large scale.
I know, but that's what I'm saying. But that's my issue. Like more on a wide scale. Like to me, that's the backwards thing about this country.
Well, you've got the United Negro College Fund. Yeah, that's a national organization.
Several. It's just not in your face all the time.
It ain't about who started. I mean, but
it's just not in your face all the time.
Right. It's not even about stuff in the face. I'm talking about practical stuff.
It's
too many people. No, what y'all? I think y'all missing my point.
We got your point. We got
your point.
You know what I'm saying? I'm still, and it's one of the things why I say I'm really on the fence about the 2.5. The best and the brightest are gonna get it. Mm-hmm. You understand? I don't care what race you are. The best and brightest. That's why you're the best and the brightest. Mm-hmm. It's the middle of the line, the kids on the fence, who we really got to aim for. You get them kids on the fence to swing this way instead of that way, we solve a whole lot of problems.
And generally, those kids are the 2.5.
Yeah, that's why I said I'm on the fence about the 2 point. But at the same time, it's like, okay, I'll give you an opportunity, but you got to show me for 4 months that you kind of want to do this. At least you show me you're interested. Because in college, that 3.0 ain't nothing. Let's be real. We all been there, especially that first semester.
Yeah.
Because you really ain't nothing but a review. Let's be real. Well, it's a review if you paid attention the first time. Let's say that. I mean, come on. And like I say, 12 hours a day you in class? Come on, man.
But that's for us sitting in this room.
Yeah, that's
true.
We're
speaking for a very small population of college students, current and graduates. Mm-hmm. We don't really know what everyone's psyche is. You may say a 3.0 is, it's just a review. Well, no, it's a struggle for some people.
It is a struggle, but we can identify that kid. But let's get to him. Let's get him some money.
Oh, right. Jeremy.
Yes. What I'm saying? What happened to the day back in the day when the dope boy used to come through the hood and hand out the money and make sure all the kids that are supposed to go to school, they go to school? Where they at?
Well, I hope they're in jail.
I know.
Because I need them not to do that.
The reason I say I don't, because never mind. That's a whole nother story. We get on
right.
Because it's a whole nother thing. Because y'all noticed that back in the day, a lot of the big time guys, they really did stuff to take care of people. Yeah. Y'all know what I'm trying to say. I'm not talking about how it is now.
What was that man's name? Frank.
I'm talking about Frank Lucas.
Frank Lucas.
Yeah, I'm not even talking about him. He's not a good example. But I'm just saying.
He did it.
Anyway, my bad.
Yeah.
I'm
We
bad.
didn't have time.
I took y'all somewhere.
He took us somewhere.
Yeah.
I didn't know
I
we were going to open up a window.
I mean,
I
I had another topic to talk about, but
we should have.
We got a couple minutes.
How much time we got?
Say, Mr.
it was
Crown?
real. I'm on this kindness kick. I'm just a softie right now, and really quick, this Saturday, a pastor stopped the funeral.
Yeah.
Stopped the funeral once he found out the girl was gay.
Well, no, I think I read the article. They said he found out that they
showed a slide.
They had imagery of the fact that she was gay.
Yeah.
And so he asked them to remove the pictures and stuff.
Right.
But the family is saying they sent them the video the week before. They let them know everything that they had to do.
Yeah, that was my question. Did they know previously? See,
I'm pretty sure.
but that's the thing. You know, and what it is.
Did they watch the
That's
video?
that's what I was getting ready to
Did they
say.
do their
He
due
didn't do what he
diligence?
was supposed to do.
But okay,
So
and,
he got
and
surprised
even
and
with
then
that
wanted-
though, with that, you stop in the middle, 15 minutes into the service with hundreds of people.
Come on,
out
man.
in
Y'all shocked for real?
That's not Christian to me.
I didn't say, I'm
That's
not
my
even debating that,
Someone
but are we shocked?
argue, but someone argue that presiding over a lesbian couple or an individual who's a part of a lesbian relationship
in the sanctuary
funeral, that's not Christian.
As
You
opposed
were
to the
denying-
cheaters.
but here's my thing. I don't
No,
even
you're
think,
right. There are some preachers
know.
who will preach the house down for the
I
kingpin,
don't
the
think-
drug
Who got
dealer in the
10
district.
kids by 10 different women.
I don't think it was just
Excuse me?
the fact that she was gay. I think it was the imagery, and they said they showed them
Right.
kissing or something
It was
like
the
that.
imagery.
It was the
I think it was
said,
the imagery.
It was the imagery which made him stop the ceremony.
Yeah.
From what I read from the article, it seemed like he was aware that she was gay, but all he asked them to do was, hey, can you remove this imagery of her being gay, and then we can proceed forward. But of course, they were offended by that, which, you know, as a family, I could see why they were probably offended.
We're in the
but that
service
was
now.
but that was his point. His point was, I can't allow the imagery to exist. So if you can remove the imagery, I will continue forward, no problem. But you know, obviously,
Those
like I said, they don't
things,
wanna-
when you, unfortunately, I've been to way too many funerals and had to be a part of them, not in the ground, but anyway, that whole setup of meeting with the pastor of the church and everything, that's all taken care of beforehand. So somebody somebody messed up.
Yes.
Whether it was the family,
Usually,
the
let's say that
church,
it's
the
usually taken care of.
Yeah.
I would
Let's
say,
say
the
that
church.
usually.
I would say the church didn't do their due diligence,
Right.
and if they felt that serious about it, they
Right.
could have edited the video themselves and proceeded on, and the family could have then had their own personal reaction.
You know,
Right.
they were talking about it on this morning, and Pastor D, Pastor
D. Lee show.
Yeah, he was saying that he know people that have stopped funerals. You know when the local dope boy died, and they stopped the funeral because they was in there. You know how they like to put the stuff all in the casket. They said they stopped the funeral because they was getting outlandish, and he let the family come back later and have a private funeral. He said he wasn't gonna allow all that mess. You know, no, we like
Wouldn't
that.
allow
boy.
them
We'd be out
putting
of
stuff
pocket.
in the funeral.
But he said they was putting, like, you know how people, they put joints in the casket. You know, people, they
Okay.
go crazy with
All
it.
right.
You know, if he was a
Liquor.
gang member, they'll come flood and fill the casket up, be bandanas everywhere, and you know what I'm saying? I
This-
mean, you know, you mourn how you mourn, but you can do that outside in the park.
This
Right.
article says the church's official biography states that it's a place where those bound by drugs, alcohol, gangs, and violence can find an ounce of hope.
Yeah.
So we're gonna accept everybody else except that, but because of the imagery.
I think
That is where
thought
the
that
church
was
went
wrong.
wrong
Right.
because
I
they
just thought it was
defined what they will allow and won't allow.
Exactly.
So that is not being Christian.
That's my problem. I mean, we can talk about it, we can debate it all day.
For defining what we're gonna allow and not allow. in
Correct,
church?
because the Bible
There's
didn't give us half of the
decency.
sins. They gave us all the sins, but you chose to only put half on there based off of your website.
Oh, okay. So what they put on there was wrong.
Right, what
That,
they put
that
on there was
particular
wrong.
church.
Yeah.
I thought you meant like church. Like okay.
no,
I
no.
thought
No,
we-
no, no,
We're
no. This
talking about
specific
this
church here.
church.
Yeah, this specific
This
church.
issue, I just
Here's
thought that
my
was
solution.
rude.
Here's my solution. Only bury your church members. All right, and let everybody.
Old man didn't do that either.
Let everybody else go
'Cause she
to
didn't
the
pay
funeral
tithe.
home. I've been to a few funeral.
That's insane.
I've been to a few funerals in the chapel at the funeral home. You know, they could do that. Services
man,
are there.
We want to thank you for listening. We will see you next week, 9 p.m. Real Family Talk, WOKB 1680 AM, your urban empowerment station.
You're listening to 1680 WOKB AM, Winter Garden, Florida.